In today's video, I teamed up with some awesome advisors to see what helped them grow their practice in the early stages. And we all have some tips for you so you can accelerate the growth of your financial advisory practice right now. This is one of these videos that I've been wanting to make for ages. And we've got together some fantastic advisors and we've all come up with some of the biggest tips that are going to really help you scale and grow your advisory practice, whether you're a brand new advisor or even if you're an experienced advisor as well. I see so many advisors, regardless of their level of experience, really struggle to grow their practice and to do it consistently without relying on the basics of just referrals. And with the recent challenges of the pandemic and the impact that has had on all of us, it's become more challenging for advisors to grow their practice consistently and to be able to scale it month in, month out. If you're new here, Paul is my name from Thompson Consulting. We work with hundreds of different financial advisors, financial planners, and wealth managers from all over the world, helping them to scale their advisory practices using LinkedIn. I asked each of the advisors that you're going to hear from for 2 tips that help them to grow their practice or book earlier in their career or when they were starting to develop. Key tips that help them to scale the practice and really get things going. Before we get into it, I want to let you know that every advisor, whether early in their career or at a more experienced stage, struggles with the growth of their practice. It's perfectly normal. In fact, to a certain extent, it's good for you to have to trip over your shoes because it forces you to have to think about how your marketing and lead generation and sales of your practice is actually going to work. And the whole purpose of this video is to assist not only you, but the overall advisory industry to start coming out strong out of this ugly pandemic that we've all been having to deal with. So we really want everybody to be able to drive forward with positivity. Now also in the description, you're going to find links to the LinkedIn profile or the websites of all the advisors who are involved in this video. When you finish watching, by all means, please go over and check out their content. If you like the content that we have in this video, you're really going to enjoy the content that those guys are putting out as well. So let's get into the top tips for growing your advisory practice. The first one is from Derek Notman.
Hey, my advisor friends, hope you're doing well today. I wanted to share with you 2 tips, things that I wish I would have known when I started as a younger advisor that I think would have helped me have more success early on, been able to scale earlier on, but also more balance and happiness in life. So the first tip is I really wish I would have gotten clear on what my hopes, dreams, and goals were as an individual. What did I want in life? What type of relationships did I want? What type of a house, car, etc.? What type of experiences did I want? These are all things that are extremely important. Yet as advisors, we tend to gloss over them and jump right into the business. And now that I've done that and gotten really clear on it, I've really found balance in life. I've found more success, and it's actually affected all aspects of my business. And to that point, my next tip is define who your ideal client is. Now, that's a hard one. Initially, I was told early on you have to figure this out, but no one ever told me how to do it. So what I learned is that by getting really clear on what my hopes, dreams, and goals are as an individual, it actually can drive a lot of aspects of your business. For example, if it's done correctly, you're going to have a much clearer idea of who you are and what you want out of life, which means you can build your business around finding people that are just like that. So now your business brand, your process, your digital marketing efforts, your ideal client persona, they're all built around these things that you've identified in your hopes, dreams, and goals. So you actually find clarity, and it's a real weight off your shoulders when it's done correctly. So those would be the 2 tips that I have. Get clear on your hopes, dreams, and goals, and then define that ideal client, which should be a byproduct of getting really clear about who you are and what you want in life. So I hope that helps, folks. Always sending positive vibes your way. Wishing you all the best. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Derek. Defining your ideal client, it's so important when you're looking to grow your business. We see it all the time with the advisors that we work with. We would advocate that they become the big fish in the small pond. So not to throw that big wide net, but to be much more specific and to niche down to an area that they're really interested in and that they understand the problems and challenges within that particular area. The other thing we see that people tend to need to do though is, yes, drill down into the ideal audience, but then they need to make sure that their message to the market, whether it's through their website or their profile or any follow-up messaging or content that they're putting out, that message is consistent with who they're trying to speak to, and it's not kind of all over the map. It's one of the things that we have to fix a huge amount of the time when we're dealing with advisors. So don't have any friction points. Make sure it's nice, consistent message going and speaking directly to the problems and challenges of your target audience. Next up is Adam Holt from Asset Map.
Hello, my name is Adam Holt and I'm the founder and CEO of Asset Map. I've also been a financial professional for over 22 years. And there's some really important, I think, aspects of what I've learned that you can use in your practice right away. And of course, they're life lessons. And these two tips, I hope you take to heart. The first one is don't be afraid to ask for help. Now, that might sound strange given the context of financial advice, but very often in my practice, when I look back at the most successful and pivotal moments of my life, it was because I actually intentionally asked for help. And the first example I would give you is that very early on, I was about to get out of the business because I just couldn't pay the rent. And I finally decided to break down and ask for help. And I asked a family friend, listen, I need some referrals because I want to do this. And this is my big vision. And this is what I need. And she picked up a pen and she took out a napkin off the table and she started writing down names. And she called those people in advance. And I actually wound up working with just one of them, but they became the keystone to my entire practice when I traced it back. There are many instances of this, but I think the important part is to remember that we can ask for help. Help is one of those interesting societal benefits that we all get by creating relationship, and people want to help you. The second tip that I want to share with you is as you start creating some level of success or even early on in your career, don't be afraid to provide unsolicited help. Now, what does that mean? Here I'm asking you to say, hey, maybe you could ask for help and then also provide help. I think the best thing that we can all do is to pay it forward. And I know that it comes back in spades. And someone called me once and said, Adam, I just want to offer my help to you. And I asked, well, okay, why? And they said, you know what? I've been having a bad day. And I know that in order for me to have a better day, I need to just go out and give. And that person actually wound up helping me bust a real significant challenge that was in front of us in our company. And I can't even imagine what would happen if we had not actually offered that help. And I have paid that back tenfold as often as I can in other goodwill and best and deeds that serve that person. So remember to ask for help and also give help, because it's really the keystone of building relationships. And that's what our business is really all about. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, Adam. As Adam said, asking for help and providing help is so important. And in fact, the financial advisory industry is really, as he said, very much based on relationships. And relationships not just between you and co-workers, but you and your prospects, or you and your clients, and you and your introducers who potentially are introducing you business. It really is a whole series or a spider web of relationships. And if you can approach that in a really positive way and pay it forward and treat people the way they want to be treated, you'll find your advisory practice will absolutely grow. I love that attitude, Adam. It's fantastic. One last point I want to mention in relation to the growth of your advisory practice is the importance of momentum. I don't just mean momentum in terms of your book or momentum in terms of your revenue. I really mean momentum in the smaller things within your business, which might be the number of leads or the number of calls that you're actually doing in a week, the number of meetings that you actually have set up, the number of follow-ups that you're doing, the number of touch points that you have with previous inquiries and or your current clients as well. So there's a whole series of little momentum points within your business. And if you can keep on top of the smaller momentum points, you'll find the bigger momentum really just tends to look after itself. So if you feel a little bit stuck, look to focus on those smaller little wins every single week, every single month, and you'll find the momentum in your business really begins to pick up. And as it begins to pick up, it becomes so much more of an enjoyable business to actually run as well. So listen, I hope this video has been really helpful for you. We really enjoyed putting it together, and I hope you're able to take some of the tips for advisory practice growth within this video to really help yourself and drive yourself on. Now, if you want to be part of a Facebook group with other like-minded advisors, it's a free Facebook group that you can join. I'll pop a link in the description below and you can click through and be part of that. It's all about scaling your advisory practice. Please make sure you also check out the links to the other contributors to this video today. They have some fantastic content which can really help you grow and develop your business as well. Please don't overlook the tips and advice in this video because they may seem simple or in some ways ordinary. It's always the simple things that tend to work the best, and you're getting them from some very experienced people here who've seen a huge amount of growth within their businesses and within other people's businesses. So I encourage you to really have a look at it. And to that end, I want to leave you with this quick quote: ordinary things consistently done produce extraordinary results. Thanks very much for watching today.